Okay, y'all. Now come on in here. Let's see who's in here now. I got a little bit of time. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. Hola. I have some time to spare. Yes. I know. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. So I thought I was going to be able to sneak in on my back page on TikTok, but apparently somebody is doing their job. So they were like, and blooped up a big appeal bubble. So there's that. But I have some time before class, so I was like, let me log on here and get as many of the regulars in here as possible because you guys are amazing at spreading the word. I really like it over here on YouTube. I love the setup over here. It is far more user friendly than TikTok, and I'm able to do a whole lot of things all at the same time in just this app. The merchandise, the new digital download that I'm going to have, um, working on an app just for me. So there's lots of things that are going on that have come out of our amazing community. So this platform is the perfect place for me to be. So I am sitting here just texting folks as they are responding to me in YouTube. I'm live now, kiddos. Come on in. Come on in. So here we are. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Eventually, I am hoping I can bring all 14 plus K thousand people who follow me on TikTok. I can bring them over here. My God, I need a haircut bad. Like, it's just not even, child. I am really looking like that lady on Annie, the one that's in charge of the kids. It's a hot mess. I know. I can't, it's just long, curly, and boof. I can't even do anything with it. So how was everybody's Thanksgiving? Let's start there and stop being a Neanderthal. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Oh, nice. Very nice. Nice, nice, nice. That's what I'm talking about. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is because I am under 1,000 subscribers on here, the notifications are not as quickly as they are when you are like, but don't trip, YouTube. Our group is pretty festive, so we will be there momentarily. Don't even trip. um, okay, so someone else, I don't know, maybe let's see. Who else is in here? I can't even see. So I'm still trying to learn the whole setup of this. Yeah, I'm still trying to learn the whole setup of this. But I like it. Man. And it was the nudge that I needed because I had been, let me just say this. Lots of you had suggested that I come over here, and I was just like, oh, okay. All right, I guess I'll get there when I get there. Now I'm over here and I'm like, whoa, this is nothing like TikTok at all. Like when I tell you all, when I log on here, I'm I'm speaking and I am speaking and able to breathe. It is nothing like over on TikTok where I got to watch what I say, watch what, even though some of those reads probably should have got me put off the plantation anyway, but we won't even talk about that. That's neither here nor there. So it's 8 of us in here. I don't see the chat moving, so that way I don't know who's talking, who's tapping, or whatever. But let me go ahead and get into what I gonna get into. Okay, so same thing as always over in the other side of the world. Come in, tap the screen, keep tapping. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, this platform, well, one, they were here before TikTok, so there's that. Their global footprint is much larger. And two, there's some things over here you can do you can't do over there at TikTok. And now that TikTok is no longer owned by the original owner, it's been taken over by 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. It's a whole lot of things that specific groups of people can't do. So coming over here, I'm getting myself acclimated to how this works. It's pretty similar in the studio and stuff, but there's still some things I need to learn. So that's neither here nor there. Um, I'll go back over what I talked about just a few minutes ago. So if you haven't seen the post on my page, this morning I posted about detrimental breach, detrimental material breach. And why that is so significant is because all season, from the minute Shador landed in Cleveland to right now, we have been, thank you guys, there go the screen taps. That's how I know people are breathing. We have been saying and asking, like, what is the deal? What is the deal? What's wrong with Kevin? Why are they doing him like this? Why are they doing him like this? Well, as we all know, that anything that's done in the dark is eventually going to come into the light. And so, with that being said, excuse me, several pieces had been dropped along the way, like Hansel and Gretel, and we just been picking them up as we've been going along. I don't know about the other chat groups on TikTok, but I know 100% our group been staying on top of this and following it since day one. And we knew that there was something that was not what we needed it to be. Not what we needed it to be. And it just did not, it didn't make sense. You drafted him and now you act like you don't like him. Or maybe it's not even an act, you know? Perhaps it is what it is. And we did not understand at that time what that meant. As we all know, and as the old people say, whatever you do in the dark, it's going to come out in the light. Well, here we are, boys and girls, in the light. Little Miss Thing, Zoe, decided to run her mouth. And in running her mouth, she has created a situation where it is not looking good for Dylan because she's repeating things apparently her and Dylan have discussed. And with that being said, now we get to connect the dots. So you say, hey, how do you connect the dots? Okay, well, here we go, boys and girls. Detrimental material breach is where the NFL or either the head of the organization or the owner of the team can fire a coach. Hey, Moni, can fire a coach because they have done something so egregious if it is damaging to the reputation, the face of the organization or the NFL, if they have premeditatedly done something that will create harm or professional impairment to anyone, that is called detrimental material breach. And when there's detrimental material breach, you just have to validate that and then you can move forward with the termination. Well, Kevin Stefanski has done quite a few things. And here we go. And let me tell you what those are. So the first thing is this. The first thing is this. The young lady, Miss Zoe, all she did was the straw that broke the camel's back. Her running her mouth has led to people paying attention to what she has been saying. This is not just recent. She has been talking this way since the beginning. And when she did that, now you've got people paying attention. And you got people like me who I ain't just gonna pay attention. Let me put something together because all of these little pieces were not making sense, but they do now. My God, today, they do now. So your girl decided to repeat a conversation apparently either overheard or directly had with her. And if you go to her page looks as if she's just a wag who's on there doing her makeup and doing clothes. And if you don't know what WAG is, it's wives and girlfriends. That's what WAG stands for. So she goes on and she's putting on her makeup and stuff. And sometimes she'll say little things, but the big pearl is on the bottom in her captions. What she's really thinking and saying, she had the audacity to put in there. Some of them had some racist overtones to them. Some of them were just downright blatant shade. Like there was no way for you to out explain that one, sweetheart. But she did. She said, oh, sometimes you have to talk about things in order not to cry or whatever it was she came up with. Nonetheless, hit dogs holler. And once we started reading those captions and rolling back all over, hello, my loves, and rolling back all of her get ready with me's, looking at those captions, looking at her comments, going over to her Instagram page, it's very apparent she's been doing this for a long time. Now, that might have been blown off and looked at as, oh, that's just his fiance. She feels the way she feels, except she kept talking about specific things and specific people, and she tried to code it. The Browns fans in quotation marks, about the coaches in the building. You would know you're not a coach. That's a very specific statement to make. And it didn't make sense. And a lot of people even said so. Why would she say something like that? We all got the screenshots, baby. TMZ got the screenshots. Sportskeeda got the screenshots. The Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show has the screenshots. Oh, it's been picked up. It's been picked up. So then that's where Auntie Manera, aka Diva, I'm like, wait a minute. This has to make some sense. So I then decide to go and look up what types of clauses are you able to terminate a coach with, especially if you're in the position of the Haslam Sports Group, the owners of the the Cleveland Browns. How would you do that? Well, as it turns out, there is a way for you to get past that. We call it detrimental material breach. It is the most egregious type of clause in breach that there is. And all you have to do is do something that desecrates or defames the face and the reputation of the football organization that you work for and or the NFL. Well, I think we've got enough proof for that. And let's start with the whole red shirting thing. The rumor has it that Kevin Stefanski was talking about this rumor at the beginning of the season. Well, this ain't college. The only way you can redshirt a professional football player is they have to be injured. Injuries have now entered the chat. Remember that shoulder injury we couldn't quite understand? Where did that come from? Okay, maybe he's a little sore. He has been working out quite a bit. He gets up early in the morning. He's out late after everybody else. He's hitting the colleges and all of that. We were able to write that off. But then came the back injury. Kevin. Kevin girl. We don't have an MRI. We don't have a CT. You do see your QB2 out there on the field throwing a ball with the coaches. And this is where you messed up, Kevin girl. You are a coach of football. You are not a provider of medicine, a nurse, physical therapist, occupational therapist, any of those people who specifically would be able to speak to what you're talking about. Now, you said his back was tight, but we saw him do this. We saw him do this. We saw him warming up. Where did that injury come from? And for whatever reason, I want to move to Cleveland if I'm ever injured. Because for the God of me, when people go to Cleveland and they have injuries, they are magically healed. I've had a bad back for a long time, since 1995. I think I should go to Cleveland and drink some of the water. Perhaps me too. It'll be fixed just like that. But the injuries didn't work. And the reason the injuries didn't work is because there was too much backlash. There's been too much backlash about Shador from the beginning. They thought they were going to be able to do all of these things and nobody was going to say anything. They weren't anticipating the internet aunties, uncles, and cousins. Shador Sanders has a fan base that's second only to Beyonce. It's that huge. Yeah. And you didn't think any of us were going to pay attention close enough. You thought we were going to be pacified with whatever you put out there in your presser, and we weren't going to get together and kind of talk about it. No. So there's that. So you were going to redshirt him, and because he was so healthy and moving around, you went on ahead and you created alleged injuries. Well, that didn't work out too well because your golden boy is not performing status quo. So he's not performing status quo. You're still losing. The world is begging, screaming, chomping at the bit. Why is Shador Sanders not playing? Now, here we go. Let me take you back to detrimental material breach. Remember, I said you had to do something against what is ethical, professional, and accurate. You told the world you were giving Shador Sanders, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, and Dylan Gabriel an opportunity for all of them to go for QB1. But that's not what you did. You purposely kept Shador Sanders at bay, even though in every stat and chart he outperformed all of the quarterbacks in the quarterback room. That's not something we made up. It's stats. You can go to Google. It's free. And well, YouTube is too, unless you do YouTube Premium. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. So now how do you explain that, sir? You had a legitimate, qualified, outranking quarterback in your quarterback room that you purposely benched. You pretended that he was injured. You alluded to redshirting him with no medical or viable cause. Detrimental material breach. Those are grounds for termination. At minimum, the NFL has enough to do an investigation. Collusion? That's just scratching the surface. Because by the behavior of a lot of people, how many other people are in on the detrimental material breach? Jerry Judy, come to the front of the room with your skip to my loo ass. Who's talked to you, sir? Who's giving you instructions, sir? I mean, we run the tape. We've run the tape backwards and forwards. No wide receiver would do what you did 2 weeks ago. No one. No one. Even my fluffy ass, if you gave me the ball, it may take me a waddle or two to get to that damn end zone, but I'm going to be huffing and puffing as fast as these big cheeks let me move to the end zone. So I know damn well your skinny chiseled ass could get to the end zone a lot faster than that. But no, you decided you wanted to have a plie ballet moment. I don't know what the blood clot you were thinking about, but we know this much. You were not trying to get to that end zone for a touchdown. Because if you got to the end zone with a touchdown, that would have gave Shador a touchdown on his tally. It would have also spoke to the fact that that boy's arm is golden. He earned that Johnny Unitas rightfully. And Kevin Stefanski's whole narrative falls apart. But even in that, you couldn't stop it because when you put the blindfold on Shador, you tied one arm behind his back, he still was able to meet his stats. He was still able to do his job. So now everything is beginning to trickle. It's starting to crack. The water is coming through. It's coming through. It's coming through. And we're beginning to see that there is a problem. Now, this is what made it very evident. And on Sunday, not too many people said anything about it, but I noticed it. But I was so busy being pissed at the fact that we couldn't hang out and play together that I didn't really chew at the bit on it when I did my recap. But this is where I knew what I'm talking about right now. It ain't off. Dylan Gabriel was taken out because of a concussion protocol. We haven't heard anything about any doctors, anything, no MRIs, no CTs. But then again, Kevin Stefanski never talks about any of those things. And then while he was still on concussion protocol, the Friday before the game, he was out with the practice team. You just had a concussion 5 days before. You're on concussion protocol. What are you doing out throwing and whatnot? As a nurse, I can tell you that ain't something we would let people do with a concussion protocol. Especially if we ain't got clearance from a doctor. We ain't seen an x-ray. We ain't seen an MRI, a CT scan. Every nurse working that day would have strapped his ass down and got orders for restraints. Because what you not finna do is brain bleed, hemorrhage, pass out, or go brain dead on my shift. So you could just sit your little narrow ass down and hold that football in the bed, and I'll turn on some cartoons that look like a football game for you, but you will not take your ass outside. No, you will not. But maybe you didn't have a concussion. Maybe you didn't have a concussion. Just maybe your boss is so narcissistic, egotistical, heinous, and hateful that before he pronounced Shador Sanders' name, announced he was QB1, changed the depth chart, he would allow this team to tank because he said what he said. And according to him, his word goes. Well, there's that part. But on Sunday, Dylan Gabriel went in. Because Shador allegedly had an ankle injury. Now, I watched Shador get up. I saw him, jangling his leg a little bit or whatever, but I also saw Shador run himself right back out there on that field. Ankle injury. You were just chomping at the bit, hoping and praying that something happened to Shador so you could send Dylan Gabriel in there. But God said, and he had to come right back out. Now, game didn't go as planned. But here's where it's really funky. Because when you look at the stats of that game, the first half of the game and how Shador was performing, and then the second half of the game and how he was performing. 79 yards in the second half. He had over 100-something yards the first. He's moving the ball down the field. He's throwing the ball. Second half, you tied his hand behind his back. You wouldn't let him throw. And you wouldn't let him throw because he was getting ready to throw your lights out. He was already over 100 yards in the beginning of the first half. The second half, the team took a turn. And I don't know what was said or what was done. But this is not a simple case of just Kevin Stefanski. We have several people in play here. There's a lot of people in that locker room that are ops. But I'm standing on what I'm saying, and I'm not crazy. Because one thing I know for certain, two things for sure. Stats do not lie. They do not have opinions. They do not have feelings. You either hit the mark or you didn't. Those numbers stand. And in every category for the entire completion of early training, rookie camp, OTAs, and mandatory training, Shador Sanders outperformed everyone. By statistics and performance, Shador Sanders should have been QB1 at the beginning of the season. He was not because of Kevin Stefanski. And Kevin Stefanski had him labeled as QB4, detrimental material breach. You purposely put Shador Sanders on the bench, even though every marker he had showed he outperformed Joe Flacco. He outperformed Kenny Pickett. He outperformed Dylan Gabriel. It was not a competition. Detrimental material breach. It is the most egregious of clauses that the NFL or a organizational owner can take to dismantle and cause immediate termination of a head coach. An investigation is deserved. And we're not going to stop talking about it until you do it. So there's that. So that is all. Detrimental material breach. Red shirt, false injuries, creating a false narrative that does not replicate what has been in actual performance and stats, and the continuous saboteur of Kevin Stefanski and Shedeur Sanders' ability to play. There you have it. 4 counts. Detrimental material breach. So there we go. Per usual. So what say you, chat? What do you think about that whopper deal? We didn't have that on our bingo card, did we? Y'all say that people in Cleveland know who I am. They gonna really know who I am now. No, it is not okay what Jerry Judy did. It is not. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. And let me tell you why it's not okay. Okay, because have you ever seen anybody in the Sanders family talk to each other like that? Have you ever seen Shedeur talk to anybody like that? You. No, I ain't Billy. And here's the next thing. Never mind football and all of that. I need everybody in the family to come to the front of the room. When somebody is standing over you doing this, what that mean? What that mean? Hell yeah, Shedeur stood up. Shedeur stood right on up in his face and let him know. And Shedeur, that's the wonderful thing I love about Shedeur. Shedeur is not moved emotionally. His emotional intelligence is so top tier. I was watching a video this morning that was showing when Shedeur, Shiloh, and Shalimar first moved to Colorado. They're walking with the realtor trying to find a place to live. Shiloh and Shalimar got snowballs. They're throwing snowballs at Shedeur. Shedeur is walking in his most slow, swag-rific stride. He didn't flinch. He didn't move. He didn't say a thing. They are throwing snowballs at him, laughing, cackling, jeering him. He didn't shift. I remember at the beginning of rookie season when they were taking pictures and doing all that stuff for rookie. Shedeur is sitting there. The camera's on him. He's in his phone. Somebody is yelling in the background at the top of their lungs. Shedeur didn't blink. That shit is unsettling. Do you know the amount of control you got to have to do that? So if Jerry Judy standing over him and Shedeur stood up, sir, you picked the wrong one. Because this is the one that normally he's not moved. He is not easily deterred. But you, sir, you, sir, are about to really understand what it means to have a Sanders crash out on you. And you better be glad, my God, today, you better be glad that Bucky was in a box suite. You better be glad Bucky was in a box seat. Because Deion Sanders Jr. does not play about his siblings. Period. End of the conversation. Now, Bucky is smart enough to know not to do certain things to jeopardize what his little brother got going on. But he definitely gonna let you know disrespect will not be tolerated. And you being real disrespectful, homeboy. You being real disrespectful. Shador never raises his voice or gets out of pocket. He is normally very diplomatic. And even when he knows you've done something wrong, he'll be the bigger man and he'll own it, even if it don't have his name on it. In the name of keeping fluidity and keeping the morale where it needs to be, because that's what a true leader does. But Jerry Judy, you went too far. And this is what I need to let you know, sir. That one right there, Shador don't give people do-overs. Mm-mm. Once you show him who you are, he believes you. And he told you straight out in the press conference, say, homeboy, I don't know you and I don't trust you. That's why you don't be getting balls like you think you should be getting balls. I'm the quarterback. It's my job to read and throw where the best receiver is. That ain't you. You first in the league with drops. Why would I make you my go-to? I'll take my chance on one of the other rookies before I take my chance on you. But he's so well trained and he is such an eloquent speaker that he said all of that and said it in the most wonderful way packaged. Judy heard what he said, though. Judy heard what he said. And if it's left up to the rest of us, we turn our back on Judy. You ain't never got to throw him another damn ball as long as you play. Because he's playing for a whole different league. We don't know who he playing for, but he damn sure ain't playing for the Cleveland Browns. And he clearly ain't playing with his quarterback. So there you have it. For those of you that are new and didn't migrate over here from TikTok, you're brand new to me. Welcome. In this chat room, in this community, we deal with facts, not feelings. We don't give a damn about how you feel. Tell us the truth, because that's what we telling, the truth. And we have patiently waited and wanted to understand how this came to be, and here we are. Now, tonight, I'm going to break down how Dylan Gabriel is definitely in trouble. And Miss Zoe, ooh, you better become real efficient with them get ready with me's, honey. Because here's the tea. And those of you who have children who are in school, played ball, been recruited, you know what I'm about to say to be true. When a coach recruits a young man, whether they're recruiting them out of high school to go play in college, or whether a coach is looking to recruit you from the college level into the NFL, they understand that they are recruiting the whole young man. And the whole young man means his immediate circle around him. So whether that's a girlfriend that he has, a potential fiance, his parents, who is the parent he lives with, or is he still at home with his family? Because they understand that these are the people that are going to directly influence them. This major change that this young man is about to take, it is not just about him. It will also be about the people that he is immediately and closely related to or deals with. So they're going to do their homework on everybody who is in a direct circumference of this young man that they are potentially taking on. Because when they take on this young man, they are taking on those people too. Now, you thought because Dylan Gabriel got past the draft and made it to a team that was it. You have carte blanche. You're his fiance. You may say whatever you want to say. You may do whatever you want to do. Mm, mm, mm. See, this is what happens when you share the same agent as your head coach in the pros and your other head coaches in college. Things get missed. Lots of things get missed. Yes. So now you got to see how it is going to come to be where they are now going to judge him seriously. She's a liability, young man. Or as grown men like to say, you don't have control of your house, son. You don't have control of your house at all. She is out here wild off the reservation and just running her mouth and talking and not taking into effect that some of the things that have been shared wasn't supposed to be and wasn't even bright enough to know that wasn't even meant for her ears. How many of y'all at work and y'all get information that you know damn well whatever y'all talked about in that conference room, it don't leave that conference room. And I don't care how good he or she giving it to you, you roll over and go to sleep and you shut your damn mouth. Some stuff don't even make it to the crib to talk about. Mm-mm. It's not even, why are we even talking about it? Truth be told, when I get home, I don't want to talk about the job. I don't want to talk about the job. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, Miss, get ready with me. And here's the thing, we all got the screenshots before she was able to take them down. So you could take them down. We still got the screenshots. You said what you said. And then a young lady posted today that she's at the game. I wasn't there, so let me be clear. This is what the young lady shared with us on the post about this Miss Fiance, Miss Zoe. They're at the game. She's with her son. This was her son's first live football game. She took her son. Of course, her son is cheering for Shador. Miss Zoe didn't like it. Miss Zoe didn't like it. Got into a verbal altercation with the mother of the little boy, and then tried to have the mother and the son removed and threatened to press charges. Hmm. Now, that kind of behavior makes it, hey, Coach Kev, that kind of behavior makes it really, 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 really hard for you to come back and say, oh, I didn't mean that. It was just a joke. No, pumpkin. Now you're not joking. Now you out in public and you acting up. So here we are, boys and girls. I'm is. I'm very serious. I'm very serious. No, she cannot backtrack it now. So I have set a live for 8:30 this evening. And that little tidbit, along with some other things, I will share with the group. So, for everybody that's a regular in our chat in the other group, please make it your business to let everybody know. I'm going live. If you've subscribed to me, please set your notifications because the calendar should send out a notification to let you know I'm going live at 8:30. I have to log off now and go be an adult and go into my class. But welcome to our new penthouse, guys. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, because it's about to get real, real, real. As always, my love bugs, protect your peace and your mental health, and I'll see you at 8:30.